Hi guys, welcome to yet another video of Microsoft ERP Beginners series. My name is Mohammad Yasser. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I do lots of videos on YouTube on Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. If this is your first video, do check out all my videos and also especially check out my course called Dynamics 365 Lab. It's totally worth checking out. It has tons and tons of content and like 10-15 years of experience compressed into one course. Definitely worth checking out. So as the title of this video below, it's going to be on the free text invoice today. So we have seen so many different invoicing scenarios in the past related with customer invoices, which is we used a lot of sales order to do the invoices for the customer. But today we are going to see one of the form of invoice, which is a non-SO based invoice where we can use a free text invoice to directly go ahead and invoice a customer. So in the past, we have also seen some purchase invoices, right? We have seen purchase invoices which involve the purchase order. We are also seeing some purchase invoice to the vendor, which doesn't involve the purchase order. For example, we use the pending vendor invoices. We use the invoice journal. Using a pending vendor invoice, you can directly use the vendor account and the item number. In the um, invoice journal, we use directly the ledger accounts, so credit and debit accounts, and we can directly go and post some credit to the vendor. So that is invoice journal. So similar to this particular concept, these are all non-PO based invoices. Similar to this particular concept, we have a non-SO based invoice. Just like how we can get into this pending vendor invoices without involving a PO, we can just go click on the new button and create a vendor invoice by directly keying in the vendor account number, and of course here we may need the item number. Then we go ahead and invoice the vendor, right? Similar to the same similar to this particular concept, even in the accounts receivable side. By the way guys, we have already covered about the vendor invoices, vendor prepayments, etc., in some of the videos in the past. If you have missed it, please go and check it out and come back here. Similar to that concept, we can also do the same in the accounts receivable for the customer as well, okay, not this, but here. Okay, this areas we will cover in a while in this video later, but let's first try to understand the basics and then we will build further into some more complex topic, right? So that is usually this is going to be my style, guys. If you are new to the video, if you watch my series, you will see that we will first have the building blocks and then we will get into the details of it. Even in my course, we will start with the building blocks and slowly we will build it to all complex topics. So even you're a regular watcher, it's worth to get into my course and try to rewatch the course from the beginning and have a legal entity in front of you and start creating it. That will really help you if you're getting into an interview or a new implementation or a business user new for Dynamics 365. For all this purpose, subscribing that will be like a textbook for you, always a very good reference material. I'm talking about Dynamics 365 Lab. So enough of talking about the course. Let's come back to the topic now. So let's start creating a free text invoice. Let's go to the all free text invoice section and let's create our first free text invoice. I, by the way, created a new customer account before starting this video. So this customer doesn't have any balance. It's a brand new account. So I'm going to use that account. So in the free text invoice, you are going to use the customer account to the customer whom you are going to invoice. Okay. The scenario when we can use free text invoice is usually if there are any miscellaneous expenses, some unexpected expenses or kind of an expenses for which you do not have a predefined item, whether a tangible item or a non-tangible item, a service item. You do not have a specific item predefined in the system and you do not want to even use an item. You just want to on the go invoice the customer. Such a scenario you can use a free text invoice because a free text invoice doesn't involve any item number. As the name indicates, it's just a free text that you can type and quickly invoice the customer. Okay. So just in case, like let's say in our usual industry example, let's say we are selling an equipment to the customer, and this particular equipment, let's say it's a tractor or a generator, let's say for example, and the equipment is successfully sold. And after selling an equipment, now the customer doesn't know how to use it. So we are going to train the customer. So we are offering a training package, right? We do not have an item number created for that purpose. It's just a random expense or a miscellaneous expense. And we can now use a free text invoice to charge the customer for a 2-day training we have provided. Or customer do not know how to install it on their site. We are going to install it for them. So we are quickly charging them for the installation process using a free text invoice. So such things, you can use a free text invoice to invoice a customer. For a free text invoice, you choose the customer account. Even though you choose the customer account, which is apparently a subledger, we already discussed about the concept of ledger, subledger, etc. in the past. So even though we pick the customer account number here, but behind the scene, every customer has a main account attached to it. So the postings will happen to that particular main account, meaning in this particular case, the customer account, the main account behind this particular customer account will get debited, and then there will be a revenue account which normally gets credited normally during the invoice. That's the basic concept. You have already seen all those financial rules in the past, right? The revenue always credits, right? So in this particular case as well, the debit will be to this particular customer account, and there will be a credit that gets posted to the revenue account, which I will be choosing the relevant revenue account. In this case, it is training, right? So I will be choosing a revenue account that I already have in the system defined for trainings, right? So let's now, unlike the vendor invoice where I can add an item number, here I cannot add an item number. In the invoice line, I will be adding a main account. So in this particular case, let's add a 4 series revenue account. So I have this account, consulting and training. So I'm going to choose that account and add it. So the quantity can be anything depending on the business scenario. In this case, let's say I am doing a 1 day of training. So I'm going to give 1, or it could be even a 1-hour training. So a 1-hour training, how much is the cost? In this case, I'm going to assume I'm going to do a 1-day training. For 1 day, I will be charging $4,000. So $4,000. If it is going to be 2 day, I can change it to 2 day. It will be 8,000. So the unit price is 4,000. The total amount is 4,000. It's just a 1-day training, and this training is going to be parked in this particular revenue account, which will get credited, and this particular account will be debited. So pretty much that's it. And the most important thing here, it's a free text invoice, right? So we can do any free text there. So in this case, it's going to be installation and training charges. So free text, I provided it. And yeah, we will cover about all those some fixed assets, selling fixed assets using free text invoice later. But yeah, so in this particular case, we can also put a line level financial dimension, and we also have a header level financial dimensions, etc. And there's nothing much here. It's like pretty much we have covered majority of the areas, like payment terms and payment discount, payment schedule, everything that we've already seen during the sales process. All are applicable for the free text invoice as well. Even the currency, you can change the currency if you want to. So all that are applicable. And again, the free text invoice has a line and also as a header. In the header, you will usually find your usual header related things that gets inherited from your customer account. You can even change your posting profile here. There is nothing specific that is very eye-catching. Yeah, you have a release date here. You can specify a release date, and if you specify a release date, you will only be able to post this free text invoice on that particular release date. Let's say your release date is the end of this month. You are simply creating a free text invoice now. Even then, you will not be able to post it. You will be able to post it on the release date. So that's another parameter that you have here. But other than that, all these are usual usual fields that you find in a header. And again, you can have any number of lines here. Let's say you want your installation to be parked on a different revenue account, or maybe same revenue account but to a different department. You can do so as well, or maybe even different revenue account. So for example, let's say that this is installation charges, and you're going to do or maybe this is training. Oops, it's my copilot. Let's say this is my training. This is my installation. So you can have any number of accounts. So for installation, I want to park it with another account, maybe for a labor, something related with the labor, right? Because it's installation. So, and this account has maybe revenue goes to a different department. Let's say, for example, um, let's say it is parked for the service department because they are doing installation, and other one is maybe parked against the parts department, right? So you can also segregate your financial dimensions here based on uh, the importance and based on the department that are taken care, right? So you can add any number of lines here. Okay, so let me delete the second line, and let us just make it as it was before in training. So here, as I was saying, that this is going to debit to here and it's going to credit to this particular account, right? You can also see all that here in the accounting. If I view accounting, system will also tell you that okay, the balance of the customer is going to have a customer balance of 4,000, and it's going to have a revenue which is going to be posted to this account, which is going to be of 4,000. So that is about the accounting. And we also have a view distribution. I think we have covered this in the past for another transaction, but we can also, let's say, just similar to the scenario where I was showing two lines, each line is for a different department, or maybe we can even distribute this revenue of training and installation between two different departments, between maybe service and parts. 50-50 they are going to distribute this revenue among them, right? So I can even add those dimensions within the same main account. For example, let's say I use this distribute amount, right? So here I can say that okay, for the service department, and I'm going to also add one more. So the parts department is also going to share this revenue. So the parts department, they are the ones who supply the part for installation. Service department guys are the ones who went to the on-site location and did the installation. So whatever revenue that came out of it, I would like to distribute them. How do I like to distribute them? I would like to distribute them equally. So I can click on distribute equally. So 50-50%, 200 to $2,000 each, right? So you can do all that using this particular distribution. So in this particular case, of course, I have distributed them within multiple departments. And now if I go back and see the distribution, I will be able to also see the distribution. Okay. So that is why we have that option called as view distribution. Again, even in the accounting section, if I go there and check, I will see that it's right now credited to the same main account, but to different dimensions. We have a much more granular level of reporting because of the dimensions now. So that is the free text invoice. So we'll go and post the free text invoice. I can even print it and take it to a PDF and then give it and share it with the customer. If you want, I can enable it as well. And in this particular case, I'm just going to post it. So we don't have any item here, as you see, right? So just posting through the revenue account. And then you go, and if you want to see the voucher, get into the invoice journal over here. And in the invoice journal section, you can view the vouchers here. So let me transfer the subledger entries. So let me transfer it. So now if I refresh it, you will find the voucher. Voucher will be 3 lines. That's the customer balance, and these two are the revenue that got credited to the relevant account, right? So again, this is you can even see the all the free text invoices here which are not posted. Right now it is posted, right? So I think it will vanish because the filter is by default says not posted. Okay, so right now it is posted, so it's gone from here. And if you check the customer will obviously, this one will have a balance of $4,000. Okay, so this is how you do the free text invoice. And again, there are many more things that we can discuss about the free text invoice. Let's say, for example, right now we have invoiced the customer, and for some reason we want to reverse it. So it's also possible to um, do a credit note using free text invoice. So again, I'm going to choose the same customer, and then let's say I'm going to say a credit note training, something like that. And here I have the same account I'm going to use. Let's use that, and it can be minus, and it's going to be 4,000, right? So here the amount will be 4,000 as well, so it's a negative amount. Again, I'm going to post it, so this way it's going to reverse whatever I have posted earlier. So the customer balance will be gone now. So this is another way that you can also do the credit note using the free text invoice. And there are few more things about the free text invoice. Let's say, for example, um, let's say that I'm instead of customer buying an equipment from me, where I'm actually going and selling the equipment using a sales order, and then finally I do the installation, for which I did a free text invoice just now. Let's assume another scenario where a customer is renting an equipment from me, which is a kind of not buying it, just renting it from me, and I'm going to, for some reason, periodically invoice a customer. There are many ways to do that. I'm just making up an example. So for the sake of the rental of that particular equipment, or maybe customer is renting one of my facility and I'm collecting a recurring revenue from the customer on a periodic interval, maybe once every month. So in such cases, I'm going to issue a free text invoice for a customer on a monthly basis. So in such cases, I don't need to manually create a free text invoice end of every month. Instead, I can automate that particular process by using this recurring invoices, where the free text invoice will be automatically created for you, and you can review it, and you can go ahead and post it. So if you want that particular process, and in that cases, you will need to create a free text invoice template first, and then you need to use that particular template by assigning the template to your customer, and then later on you can generate a free text invoice. It's very simple and straightforward. So let's see how to create a template first. So click on the new button, and let's create a rental, something like that. And maybe I'll just keep it as rental. So this one is whoever is responsible for this particular rental or this service, or maybe collecting the payment or something. It's not mandatory. You need to have an employee in the system. Map an employee, and all these are usual fields. And the important field here is the according to this template, what will be your account. So that's going to be your main account. um, Again guys, in the free text invoice you'll always also see the sales tax group, item sales tax group, because item number is not involved. You know that the tax calculations always happen by the combination of the customer tax group and item tax group. Since we do not have an item number here, we might give it here, so the tax will calculate based on the combination of these two. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to get into all those taxes right now. I'm going to charge the customer. How much will I be charging? I will be charging uh, maybe $3,500 every month. Okay, so I'm just giving the amount here. So this is step number one, where you are creating your template. So once you create your template, you may need to assign this template to your customer. So for assigning the template to your customer, you cannot go here and do it, because of course you do not see any new button or anything to choose your customer. So once you do this, then you go to your customer and get into the invoice. There is the recurring invoice section. Go there and then add your template. So your template is this one. So you add it, and your billing starts, let's say, from the April 1st of April, and then the billing never ends, or maybe the billing ends. The billing ends again on the 1st of April in 2026, because it's a 6 months, sorry, 1 year contract, 12 months contract. So I'm going to put an end date. So if I don't have an end date, I can even put a amount, whichever comes first basically. So the thing is, let's say that my invoice will stop only at next year, but if it have accumulated more than, I don't know how much is this, I think 10 million, right? Okay, maybe if it is accumulated, or maybe I'll just say 10 million, or 100,000. So if it accumulated 100,000 by any chance, then even if it is accumulated 100,000 before this end date, then your recurring invoice will stop. Okay, so whichever comes first basically. For example, if it has not accumulated 100,000, but we have reached the end date, but still we only made 70,000, even in that case it will stop based on the end date. So whichever comes first, that's what the text here states. Okay, so since it is whichever comes first, anyway, I'm not going to give any cumulative amount. I'm going to just give a end date, and then it's going to be monthly invoice, right? So I'm going to say um, once every month. So it can even be a bi-weekly basis, or twice a month, or whatever frequency you want, you can mention it. So in this particular case, it's once every month, and I have saved it. And if I now go back to the template here and go to the assign customer section, you will see that the template is added and there are 0 invoice generated. It will also count the number of invoices that's been invoiced. Right now it is active, which is good. So we have created a invoice template, which is this. The next step is you can generate recurring invoice. So go to the generate recurring invoice, and we are going to generate invoice for the first month, which is 1st of April. Um, so let's just say on 1st of April, and I'm going to use my template rental. And here, if you do not want to look for all the customers, because it will, if I do not filter by customer, it is going to look for all the free text invoice that are configured as a template for all the customers, right? In this particular case, I do not want to look for all the customers. I want to only filter for my customer. So let me filter my customer, that guy. So that's done. Okay, so it's added to the batch. So if I now go to the recurring invoice section, okay, these are two posted invoices, and this is non-posted, which is the one that we have just created. So it does has a 3,500, the charges that we have created, it generated on this particular month. So right now I'm going to go ahead and post it. So once I post it, then it is right now posted, but it will take some time because it is added to the batch queue. Once the batch job runs, it will be posted. At this moment, it's still not posted. I will even be able to see in the all free text invoice section as a non-posted invoice. Oh, it's posted, I think, so it's gone, or else it will be here if it's not posted yet. Okay, so let me refresh it. Yeah, it's posted. So it's normally, if it's not posted, you can also see it in the free text invoice section. It's done, right? So likewise, for example, if I want to generate the invoice, let's say not for April, I skipped a month, April, May, I'm doing it for, let's say, June. June, and then I'm running it. So I skipped a month, right? So the system will still sense all that, and if you see, um, oh sorry, if you see the invoice, so even though only one invoice generated, if you get into the invoice, you will have two lines, uh, one for the month of May, another for month of June. So I'm charging both, right? So again, I can even see them here. um, okay, it's not available. I think it's not coming up here. Okay, interesting. So they are only available here. Yeah, in this particular section. So anyway, so right now it is not posted, and I go ahead and add it to the batch, and it will then go ahead and post once it's successfully added to the batch. So this is another feature which is available in the accounts receivable module, recurring invoices over here in this particular section. And other than that, the free text invoice, we have seen this and all that. So it's pretty simple and straightforward and easy to practice as well. Hope this video is useful. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you again in another video, guys.